is her pen pal. I don't know what the mom is doing. Yo, can you imagine if the mom has a family of her own right now? Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another review of 2521. This episode was really good. We got to see more of the pain that our characters go through because of the IMF crisis. We got more funny scenes because of Hido. She is such an angel. I love her character. There is never a dull moment with her. She is the life of the drama. Yeah, she is also the main character, but sometimes in dramas, the life of the drama is not really the main character. Sometimes it's the supporting characters, but in this case, it's her. And also, we got more of YooRim's bad behavior towards Hido. And yeah, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get to it. So first, at the beginning of the episode, we get to see Minche waking up to the sound of her mom's voice. It's Hido. We get to see an older Hido. Well, if I say older, it makes it sound disrespectful. So we get to see an adult Hido. And Hido wasn't really happy that her daughter quit ballet. Even the grandma didn't want her to quit ballet too. Which is pretty funny because the grandma wanted Hido to quit fencing. I could be wrong, but I think this scene is the beginning to see if Minche really loves ballet. You know, just to compare her to her mom because Hido really loved fencing. Now, while I'm still talking about family, I want to talk about Eon and YiJin. So both of them were at a burger place. 3 bullies came in and started making fun of Eon because of his financial situation. Thankfully, YiJin was there to defend his brother. Yeah, you act tough now until someone tougher comes in. I like one of his lines that he said to the bullies. I'm not going to tell your parents, and I'm not going to tell your teachers. I'll just kill you myself. And I was cheering him on. That was just part 1 of seeing how the IMF crisis really affected YiJin's family. That was part 1. I'll talk about part 2 involving YiJin's dad later in this video. I want to talk about 2 of my favorite funny scenes in this episode. The first one is when YooRim and Hido got the news that Full House Volume 12 was already out and they both ran to their respective bookstore. The bookstore that they've signed a membership to. Hido arrived at the bookstore, but YiJin said that all of them have been rented out except for the one that she noticed that was on top of a boombox, which was reserved for YooRim, which was not allowed at the bookstore. It's first come, first serve. Just seeing YooRim and Hido fighting for the book and just seeing YiJin in a very funny yet difficult situation was just so hilarious. In the end, he did pick Hido to get the book. And the second funny scene is, it was right after YiJin reunited with his dad, but only for a moment. I'll talk about that later on in this video. And Hido and YiJin were having their conversation. YiJin, for a moment, bent down. Hido saw that, got the impression that he was going to give her a piggyback ride. Just seeing her reaction is just so hilarious. She saw it, she smiled, she was about to go on top of him, but nope. It wasn't a piggyback ride, which was so hilarious. Just seeing her reaction was just a cherry on top. And then the scene after that, we see both YiJin and Hido's leg tied together and they were pretty much walking left leg, left leg, left leg. I'm like, you couldn't give her a piggyback ride? Now let's talk about YiJin's dad. So the dad actually went to the landlady and asked where was YiJin, and she pointed him to the bookstore that he was working at. Hido overheard this conversation and thought it was just another person asking for money. But then later on, they do find out that it's his dad after YiJin finds out that he left a note on the front door. Seeing YiJin reunited with his dad was just so heartwarming. And to be honest, I don't know the time span between they split up to when they saw each other again. And I hope towards the end that their entire family reunites. All of them, mom, dad, YiJin, and Eon. I hope they reunite because just knowing that the family is suffering because of the IMF crisis and also the family can't be together because of their situation, it's just really heartbreaking. So again, I hope the family reunites. Now let's talk about the ending scene with YooRim. But before I talk about her, I want to talk real quick about one of the members of the fencing team, Dasil. So the coach caught her playing computer games. And the coach told her, oh, so you're here playing video games while your underclassmen are training really, really hard, even at night. This got her angry. She had the nerve to arrive to school angry at both YooRim and Hido for training and telling them, hey, you can't train at night. I'm like, this girl, YooRim kept apologizing, but Hido thinks that they did nothing wrong. This is where YooRim admits that if you would have just said sorry, this whole thing would have been over and we'd all just move on. And YooRim also admitted that because she was a gold medalist, she endured so much, meaning that if you stand out, there's going to be people supporting you, which is actually a good thing, but it makes me think that because YooRim stood out, she had a lot of supporters. So I guess she disappointed them at one point in time. Because of YooRim's hateful attitude towards Hido, plus the argument that they had at the ending of this episode, this was the last straw for Hido. It was crazy how she idolized YooRim since the very start. And then now to tell it to her face that she hates her now. But then at the very last scene, we see Hido talking to her pen pal, which we already know she has. She's been talking to this person pretty much in every episode. We find out YooRim is her pen pal. The person that Hido was talking to on the computer, it was YooRim the entire time. I think in episode 2, they did hint it that YiJin was the one because they did show a computer in his room. But it turns out it's YooRim. I'm waiting for that moment that they find out that both of them are each other's pen pal. I can't wait for that moment. But once they find out, I know they're not going to be friends right off the bat. There's definitely going to be an awkward moment. But after time passes and maybe some new events happen between the both of them, they're definitely going to be from enemies to friends. So my thoughts on the episode, it was good. It was funny. I love seeing Hido in any funny scene that she's in, just seeing what situation she's going to be in, just seeing her reaction to it. Again, it's just so hilarious. Seeing YiJin's dad and YiJin reunite after I don't know how long, but if you guys know the time period, leave it in the comments below. But just seeing them reunite, it was definitely bittersweet. Sweet that they reunite. Bitter because they can't be together now, you know, they still have to be apart. And again, I hope their family reunites. You know, we haven't seen the mom yet. We see the brother, YiJin, and the dad. I don't know what the mom is doing. Yo, can you imagine if the mom has a family of her own right now? Yo, that better not happen. This episode really put the stamp on the phrase, never meet your heroes. Hido, she idolized YooRim. Since day one, she looked up to her. She wanted to be part of the same team as her. She wanted to be friends with her, but with the constant bad attitude and just being shunned by her. Yeah, this episode was the last straw, and it made Hido went from liking her to now hating her, which is crazy. It may be crazy, but it's totally understandable because when you idolize someone who is well known for something, you're only focusing on the glamour part of their life. And you don't really understand the stuff that they've been through for them to get to that point. You may have read about it, but it's not the same as going through it like they did. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave in the comments below. Other than that, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.